Educational GMAT. Your partner in your GMAT journey.
Oriole Airlines. Tricky one. This is a very tricky one. So what's the plan? What is the plan here? $25. Okay. So that's the plan. And what's the goal, by the way? Yeah, very nice. The goal is to increase the net profits, right? And we have to challenge it here. Sorry. Yeah. Tough one, guys. This is a tough one. Yes. By the way, why not alpha? I think this should be easy. Why not alpha? In fact, if anything, alpha is supporting this, right? Because it's saying that many rival airlines are already have this strategy in place, which perhaps means that this strategy works. What we have to look for is an option that says that perhaps this strategy would not contribute to increasing of net profits. Okay, all right, all right. Sorry, Baker, Edward, yes. All right, Kavita, why do you think Baker? Absolutely, very nice. Very nice. So most consumers who shop for flights on independent websites find that Oriole's fares are the lowest. Now notice Oriole's fares are already low. When those consumers now go to Oriole's website, they would further get $25 off, which clearly means that their net profits will not increase then. See, people who are on the independent website, they find Oriole's fares to be lowest. Then they obviously will pick Oriole. So then Oriole basically does not need to offer this additional $25. Since the plan is to offer an additional $25, this can only lead to reduction of net profits then for Oriole. We'll come to that. We'll come to that. So Alpha gone. Baker, I think we are all convinced that Baker seems quite promising. Let's look at Charlie. Many independent websites. First of all, the word many does not really tell us anything. It could be 10 out of 100. It could be 80 out of 100 also, right? So that becomes very non-specific. Many independent websites that list fares from different airlines. By the way, the example would be, let's say, Make My Trip or Ease My Trip. So, so these are basically the aggregators. So many independent websites that list fares from different airlines do not include special discounts that airlines offer only through their own websites. So if anything, this would strengthen the conclusion, right? Because if that $25 discount was included, then, right? So that's the whole point, that this essentially, this is an assumption that is baked into the plan that Oriole has. Because if that $25 was baked into this, then Oriole would not even need this plan. Now, David and Edward. David actually seems confusing to a lot. Actually, I was surprised no one picked David. Consumers who shop for less expensive fares through independent websites usually book flights through those websites rather than directly through airline websites. What do you think about that? So there are many ways to look at it. One is David is looking at what kind of customers. David is looking at only these customers. Which customers or which consumers? Consumers who shop for less expensive fares through independent websites, right? First of all, we don't know what that percentage is. For example, if there are a total of 100 consumers, right, then perhaps only 10 are in this category, and the remaining 90 would be those who directly buy through airline websites. Or it could be the other way around, right? 10-90 or 90-10. Could be anything, right? So we don't know anything specifically about the consumer buying pattern from option David. Next, another way to look at it is consumers who shop for less expensive fares usually book flights. Now, that's another thing that we are honestly not very concerned about. Where do they book from? See, people may be just going through a Make My Trip to find out which one is least expensive and then go to the actual website to do the booking, right? So where do they end up booking the flights is not really our botheration. Whether they book from there or go to the specific website, we don't care about that. Finally, how about Edward? How about Edward? Let's take an example because this is slightly difficult in terms of its wording. Let us say, let us say, uh, the least expensive fare from rival airlines, let's say, is $400. Let's say. Now, can you tell me, according to option Edward, what will be the fare that Oriole will offer? Very nice. It's basically saying that the price will be greater than or equal to 380. But the point is this, the point is this, that greater than equal to 380 could mean 420 or 430 also. See, this is all it's saying, right? It's greater than equal to 380. But it does not mean it's lesser than 400. Yes. Baker conclusively says that it's the lowest. Edward is not suggesting that it's lesser than 400. It's saying, essentially saying that whenever Oriole is the cheapest, the difference is not more than $20. Right, but I'm saying it's just saying greater than equal to $380, which could be $420 also, right? 420 is also greater than 380 or 430 or 450. So we don't know anything by the data provided in option Edward. In fact, if you look at it, actually, let's completely change Edward. If it was given that Oriole Airlines fares are generally more than $25 more expensive, let's say. So which means if the least expensive fare from rival airlines is $400, then it would be saying that Oriole would be greater than or equal to 425. In that case, again, the plan will not work because even after offering the $25 discount, right? So then if people are coming to the aggregator website, then they would not want to go to the Oriole website just because it's offering $25 discount. Because even after offering the $25 discount, the Oriole price would still have been more expensive than the next, than the cheapest one. So had this been the option, it would have qualified as a correct answer. All right. So Baker is the right answer.